Whoa, okay. Nicola, is it crowded enough? I think yes. I'm Nevena Rendeli Vejzovic, and I will be your host today on this exclusive, I can say, one-on-one on Shift 2023. It's also an exclusive opportunity for all of you to talk with one of the founders of Infobip. So please do raise your hands and ask questions. We'll see you. We have 30 minutes hard talk. Izabel, are you ready?
I hope so. Let's find out.
So let us begin. So from 0 to 1 billion in revenue, first unicorn in Croatia. Do you remember or can you highlight a key strategy moment or a decision that was crucial for the company's success?
It is hard. I wouldn't say it's only one or two key strategy or key decisions. I think it's rather a lot of small things happening one by one. I cannot point out one big thing or two big things, but rather of many of them.
You won't write self-help books and just say, this is a 5 recipe to success.
Nah, it's hard.
But when you remember the early 2000s and the beginning, how did it all begin? Was it like everything should happen like this and you knew this is going to happen? Did you have any plan?
I could now say like, yeah, I was a visionary and I knew everything, but of course it was not the story. For me, it was kind of really something that looked very interesting. So we are now, if we are thinking about it, was 2003, 2004, 2005. So the IT was not so strong at that point. So it was before Facebook, Google, and all, those big companies. And I was really excited to try something where me being a developer, programmer is something really strong and something that really creates value. So it was one of the rare things where IT was not support for some other industry, but rather the main thing. This is what drove me crazy at that time, and I said we should try it.
But let us see the examples. As I know, it started with a Christmas message. Please tell us about it.
Yeah, so it was kind of before we had any like big platform. And I remember this night we had some client and we had to send messages. It was New Year Eve. And I was driving with car to my then girlfriend, nowadays wife. And before went out, I ran some script that should be sending those messages around 10:30, 11 p.m. New Year's Eve. And during the driving, I realized that I made some mistake. And so I came to my girlfriend's house, ran inside, you know.
Her parents in the house.
Her parents were around,
dinner.
of course, waiting for me, dinner, everything. I ran there, opened a laptop, and started coding something to make sure everything is right. And, you know, it was like happening for half an hour before New Year. And
parents were delighted.
And I still remember the face of her father, like, she deserves better.
But now, does he say he was wrong?
Now I guess it's better perspective.
Okay, I saw an article today in Croatian media. There is a quote from Dražen Orešćanin, I think he's here in the public. So the title was, "Our government doesn't have a clue what Infobip does." Is it still true? Do people more recognize in Croatia what do you do? Or they're just bragging, we have Infobip in Croatia, but nobody really knows what is the main core business?
I think it was hard for them at the start to realize and to understand. So they're really, really far away. But somehow I feel the situation is improving. So we are kind of able to have some fruitful discussions in recent times. So we are maybe not still fully there, but I think it's really getting better.
So, but in the beginning, was it that easy to explain to not only to the government, but to the local community? What do you do? Did you have some funny examples? What happened when the tax company came?
Yeah, it was. We had a lot of interesting situations from that point of time. I remember that our the accountant at one point asked, like, after doing for a few years with us, and like at some point she came and said, okay, now I got you, I understand what are you doing, but I need you to tell me, where are those messages now? Where are they now in this moment? I had to try to explain this. So we had really a tough time, hard time explaining what's our core business.
Were they in the box or something?
Yeah. On some truck.
Did you have a truck?
Waiting to pass the border.
So, okay, I suppose it wasn't easy in this 20-year travel and experience from 0 to 1 billion, but I want to know, and suppose everybody here, you always talk about the good things, about the lessons, but pardon my French, I want to know about fuck-ups. So please, could you remember some lessons that you learned from mistakes?
There were, for sure, many mistakes, especially in early days, when now we are like 3.5 thousand people, and we have many departments and many specialists around. But at that point of time, we are working on everything alone, actually. So, for example, I know the Infobippers know this story very well. We didn't have HR, onboarding process, nothing. And I remember that I had to learn on our own mistake. So I know that we got new girl coming, and I really needed help because we were overwhelmed with a lot of things to do. And I just onboarded, at least I thought I onboarded her in 15 minutes. Do this, check the scripts, do this, if this is green, if this is red, do something else, blah, okay, please start because we need it immediately. And I know it was her first day, and after lunch she didn't come back.
Really strange.
So, I was too busy, and I was hoping that tomorrow morning she will come back, but surprisingly she was not there even tomorrow morning. So I tried then to think a little bit, and okay, it's kind of easy to understand where I messed up. So I called her again and had another coffee, and she's still working on Infobip now. And however, I guess sometimes there are mistakes that are harder to realize. This was kind of easy because I got immediate feedback from her.
So now you have 3,400 people working in Infobip in 72 countries, yeah?
Yes.
On every continent, almost. Is it easier now?
It's definitely different. The times are also different. The things are moving very fast, and I think it's just in this 15 years, things are just going more and more faster and faster. So I would say, no, it's hard to say if it's easier or harder, but it's definitely different. But it's something that's different. Wherever you take some period of time, it's always things are different because this IT sector is really moving fast, and we have to lead it or follow whatever, but things are changing extremely.
So this was diplomatic, but you're a developer. You started as a developer. At the beginning, you had to be both or three things, like the seller, the businessman. Today, you don't develop anymore, yeah? You don't do the development.
Unfortunately, not. No.
Why unfortunately?
I mean, because I like to do. I like coding. This is why I was at the beginning here, and I really liked it a lot. And I knew from my early days, when I was 10, I got my first Commodore 64. I knew that's it. The excitement that I felt then coding followed me through all these years, and I really was happy about coding. However, when I realized it was somewhere in 10 years ago, when I realized that I don't have enough time and I have to let people that are much better than me to let them code. And
they
I should
are
just,
better, really?
Yeah, much better. I just have to enable them to do their own best, and it will be good enough.
So for you, short answer, developer of businessman, if you can choose now again, would you stay in this or you'll be where you are today?
That's a tricky question. Well, yeah, it depends, but I like the combination a bit. I still steal some moments for my own things to try to keep track as much as possible because I still have a lot of fun there, but not business-wise. There are as I said, there are folks that are much, much better and faster, and I just don't have time to be at the same level as they are.
So I said 3,400 people. How do you lose control? Do you ever lose control over everything? And do you have still control all over the business?
It's hard to have control all over the business because there are many factors that you don't control. But there are some moments when you simply, when you work a lot with someone, you can feel that you are on the same way or lines of thinking. And I think that's a lot about the trust. That's being, if you work together, trust grows, and once you have to let those people shine, and I think that's a good. It is not easy. It's hard, but at some point I had to, because my head will just explode.
Yeah, I can
trying
imagine.
to keep everything in the head, so it doesn't make sense.
So was it hard for you to let control to anybody else?
Pretty much yes, because I was really from the start I was used to have as much control as possible and do everything myself and slightly introducing new people. But I'm not the one who can fix anything by having my hands dirty anymore.
So can you share some examples of innovative and your favorite use cases where Infobip solutions have made a significant difference? I know for one story that you sent to the States. Please tell us about it. And it worked.
Yeah. It was not the States. It was again like 2008 when we created some mobile operator equipment, and it was first of kind. And it was kind of okay. As Sylvia, our CEO, said, we have to do it, and we didn't think too much. Gone there, we had an extremely good guy who is still with Infobip, and made great things out of it, and made really it work at the first sight. So we shipped. It was like kind of hard equipment. We never knew never seen it before. Was able to make it work, ship it to some operator, and had some mobile phones shipped to, I don't know, it was I think Germany, to be able to test it generally, and it really worked like from the first thing. Once we tried it, it worked, and I was very suspicious, like it can't work, but it really worked. Although we experienced a lot of issues later in next months, but it was really a great thing. And I would say through the history we had few of these, not only technical but also commercial or business-wise breakthroughs that helped us a lot to grow, like being locally present in many countries. So having brave young people who are willing to go to, I don't know, Malaysia, Latin America, Africa, Nigeria, wherever, all the markets where many people were interesting markets for us because of mobile penetration there, and people just went there and find another people around, hired people, learn them all that we need, and start selling and making connections and network with local enterprises, banks, and telecom operators.
So you managed to value old values culture of the firm from the beginning to today. When we are talking about the culture of the firm, what do we say is the main culture of Infobip?
I think culture is really important. It's the glue that makes or breaks things. And this is something that we are not, at the start, we were not even aware that culture exists. You just find people that think similar and put them at work, and you work together, and you see what works, what doesn't work. And as organization grows, this culture changes, and the main thing is really to try to keep it as it was at the start. And I think especially now in recent times, during COVID era and during the work from home, it's really hard for people to feel like part of the team and to feel the culture, and it's hard to transfer this an intangible thing to the people. We have just recently announced like Back to Roots, where we are trying to work on this, visualize and have some sentences, some principles. Who we are actually, how do we think about things, how do we behave, and try to make all the people so they realize what we want, how we want to be, how we want to achieve things, how we want to succeed at the end.
I saw an interview for one businessman yesterday, and he said that the things on the workplace will never be the same as they were before COVID. So working remotely, is it still an issue, or will we go back, or it's the mix? What is the best thing for you? What do you think?
For me, it's the mix. I think the working from office is much more productive, and I think the great ideas can happen only when you have people together with different, backgrounds, different specialties, talking about the same problems for different perspectives, and then understanding what is the problem, and then how to sort it out, how to cut the corners, how to make it really fast to sort out customer problems. And you cannot, the creativity that comes at such situation in front of whiteboard, really you cannot sparkle it in the 1 hour time slot next Thursday on the meeting. On the other side, there are also things that you can do best when you are on your own in the zone, like being isolated. So I would say somewhere in the mix.
It's always in the mix, yeah, in the middle. So I already said Infobip raised 200 million from one equity partners. Infobip's valuations surpassed 1 billion, making it first Croatian unicorn company. Define what this investment meant for Infobip. That was a big change, definitely.
That was a big change, I agree. We realized that we cannot grow fast enough if we keep financing from our own organic growth. And also we realized that US market is really interesting, really big, and we could do a lot of things if we have strong presence in US. And we were trying for a few years to tackle US, sending people there, trying local people, but it was really, really hard to bite the US market. So the only way to go was actually to try to buy some US company that is established there and build on those foundations. And I think at the end it worked really well.
So where do you see Infobip in 10 years? What are the plans?
It's very hard to say, but we have to keep growing or we won't be there, I think. That's the only two options.
It can even grow more.
Absolutely. I mean, the things that we are now doing, communications, it evolved a lot. It was hard to say at 2003, 6, 9 where it will and how it will go. But now there are so many different ways how businesses are communicating with the people, with their end users over different, SMS messages, but over WhatsApp, Viber, Telegram. A lot of things are happening there. AI is just complementary technology that helps this to make it less annoying and more useful. So I think the whole market is still growing as it was in recent years.
And changing, definitely.
And changing constantly.
So you mentioned the US market, Miami conference Shift. How was it? And what are the plans for Shift in next 10 years here in Croatia and in the States?
Exactly, those are the plans. So I think it was very well accepted. It was like a success, big success in Miami, and we are just starting. So we plan to keep both in US and here. Here, of course, because we are majority of our people is in Balkan region in Croatia. And in US, as our strategic market, we're trying to be as much as close to the developers world there, and we must be recognizable on that market.
So next year, Miami Shift again?
Absolutely.
and Infobip in Zadar. Shift in Zadar, sorry.
Absolutely.
So I didn't ask you at the beginning, how are you satisfied with the shift this year's?
This is, I think, something that we can ask audience.
Are you satisfied? Was it good? We can now maybe ask the audience if they have any questions. As you saw, this was a little bit more of a live interview. If you have some tech or IT questions, please do. Please do ask whatever you need. Then more alive questions from me. So, Izabel, work-life balance, that's the question that's often asked to all women in business. So I will ask you now today, how can you have a work-life balance when you have such a big company?
Yes, thank you for this easy question. I mean, it's a balance always, but it should go hand in hand somehow. I would say when in previous era when I didn't have kids, it was not so much about this balance because it was much easier. I just worked night and day and not so much thinking about those strange terms such as work-life balance. Now I really want to be part of the life also for my kids, so I'm trying to make both things work, and I check periodically with my wife if things are still good. So so far so good. I mean, it's hard, but I think it's necessary to do it.
You have 3 kids, yeah?
That's right.
So do they know what their father does for business?
But generally, they know that Infobip exists, and they would like to work there one day. So we'll see.
When they come to school, what they say? My father is
a developer. They say my father is programming.
Okay, okay. Yeah, thank you. So I heard that there is a book coming out soon. What will it be about, and what will be able to read in it?
There is a book that's coming soon, and I think it will be of some kind of biography about the Infobip. So I think it could be interesting because there'll be many stories, and like with Roberto and Silvio having also a lot of things happening on worldwide during traveling. So I
could you share some with us?
It will be fun to read. No, let's keep it for the book.
Maybe Roberto can share it now. Okay, we'll read it in the book. So, do you have any more? We have a question there. There, lady.
Oh, there. Okay. Oh, well, just a second. I'm really slow. Which one? Which one? You. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Carla. I'm from Mexico City. And I wanted to ask you, how was the shift from local clients you had like at first in your community and to a global community? Like, what were the major changes within the company to enable serving a worldwide community and clients such as Google, Meta, so on? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. So when we, even before establishing Infobip, there are a lot of liquidity problems in Croatia. So we did something, and our clients simply didn't pay it, and they said they didn't even use our services. So we realized very soon that we have to go to try to do business out of Croatia. So we immediately started to work with Italy, Germany, so with the customers there. And once we realized there is a lot of that the market is really fragmented, then we started to send people on different continents, on different countries, and started to build local network, and then start step by step gain a bit of visibility. And we were, I think Roberto was there with in WhatsApp talking in early stages. It was 2010 or 11 when we established partnership with WhatsApp. It was kind of early days before acquisition, and they were very satisfied with the services we provided. So I would say the quality of service was really good. And then when Meta or Facebook acquired WhatsApp, they just started also to use our services. And then it was a lot about recommendations. So it was LinkedIn, Microsoft, many companies just recommended us because of the quality of service, which is really great to know. But that's the true story. And then it helped a lot to gain visibility. So we became like #1 provider for the majority of the markets beside US.
Are you okay?
Yes, thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you for the question. Anybody else? Here?
Do you remember the moment when you, as a founders, actually, as a company, felt that you are going to succeed? Actually, probably there was a moment in the timeline of the company.
Sorry, can you please repeat?
So do you remember the moment when you, as and the founders, felt that you are going to succeed as a company?
We were thinking that we will succeed, from the beginning, of course. But there was no like one moment. We just started to do. We saw there was always kind of perspective. There is so much things we can do. That is so many things in front of us in our niche that needs to be done. So we are just kept doing, thinking how to do it better, starting employing new people. Business was growing, and it was like step by step. We didn't define anything like North Star. We must be there in some period of time. We just didn't have too much time to think too much ahead. There are so many work to do in front of us, so we just focused on that. Later, we started to do some plannings, of course, and mission, vision, those statements. But it was like just journey step by step.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Maybe some.
Just have in mind that we didn't have to prepare the pitch for venture capitals at that point of time. Now it's different. Sorry.
Maybe the question was going in the direction: was there a business that you did or a client, and you said, "Okay, now we are going worldwide"?
I mean, we did have a few of those breakthroughs. When you send someone in Malaysia and he creates a great team and they start really selling, and you can really feel, look, this is working. They are great. Let's copy the same thing all over the world. So definitely there are things that convinced us. Or we went in 2008, like first time that we are going to big, smallest. Telecom operator in India, smallest 200 million subscribers. That's small for them, but once that you realize that they are really listening to you and you can do this, it definitely gives you a big boost in your confidence that the something must be right what you are doing.
Is the yeah? We are talking about doubts. Did you have any doubts?
There are always ups and downs that happens, but I think what I think is great that we have a really great team. That always someone is positive in the team, and trying to see the lights at the end of the tunnel. So of course we did, but we didn't let it make too big shadow.
Anybody else? So I have a last question. Did you watch TV serial Uber or Spotify?
TV serial Spotify? No, I didn't. No.
Yeah, it's great. So maybe one day we'll see about Infobip. Who knows? Do you think about that or no?
I'm not thinking about that.
Not really. Okay.
Not really.
Thank you very much, Izabel Jelenic, founder and CTO of Infobip.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. You were great.